What's up, guys? I just wanted to take a few moments to give my thoughts on the Don Lemon getting arrested thing. Not really about Don Lemon, but the whole ordeal, right? The protesters going into the church and the people who organized the protest getting arrested, and just give my view on all of that. But before I do, I need you to just pull back your emotions real quick. Just pull them back, tuck them away, and let's have a logical discussion about this. Now, what I'm hearing is that these protesters who disrupted a church service should essentially have immunity in doing so because all they're doing is exercising their First Amendment right. Even though in them exercising their First Amendment right, they were infringing upon the churchgoers' First Amendment rights and the pastor's First Amendment rights. Even though all that, it's justified because those pastors are associated with an organization that people believe is evil and equal to the Gestapo. And so people who are in support of those protesters having full immunity, they believe that there is justification for infringing upon somebody else's First Amendment rights. Now, before we continue, let's go back a few years. There were these pro-life activists who went into an abortion clinic and protested inside the abortion clinic. They were arrested, prosecuted, and sentenced. Do you, the people who think that these protesters should have full immunity, do you think that those pro-life activists should have been arrested, prosecuted, and sentenced? Yes, you believe so. Why? Because they're taking their First Amendment right and infringing on somebody else's private property. And our First Amendment rights don't allow you to do that. They also violated the FACE Act, which states that people cannot do what those pro-life activists did. And in turn, people cannot disrupt a church service in protest. It is a violation of the FACE Act. Now, in a pro-lifer's mind, they are justified in doing so. They're like, they killing babies in there. I'm going in. I don't care what the law says. And so if somebody can be guilty just by association, right? The pastor, the congregants who are guilty because they're still going to a church where the pastor is associated with MAGA or the pastor is associated with ICE, those people are guilty simply by being associated. Then imagine how, in a pro-lifer's mind, how much more guilty the people who are inside the abortion clinic are killing babies. And this is why when we seek justification for violating somebody else's rights, we set a precedent for our rights getting violated in return. If Don Lemon and the people who organized the protest inside the church, if those people have immunity, it sets the wrong precedent. Because if they get away with it, then it's open season on not only churches, but synagogues, mosques, even though I know you guys aren't going to play around with that one, Buddhist temples, Hindu temples, even the Church of Satan is up for grabs. Protesters can just go in there, protest the Church of Satan, and they are justified for doing so because, hey, they're worshiping Satan. I know I'm going to get some comments from some Church of Satan folks in here that say, hey, we don't worship Satan, blah, blah, blah. Let's get out of here, okay? Let's bring it back. It doesn't matter how passionate you are about being anti-ICE. I get it. I completely understand being that passionate about something that you think is so evil. I get it. I get that you think that because the pastors are associated with MAGA and are associated with ICE and that the congregants are complicit because their pastors are associated with these people. I get that in your soul, in your heart of hearts, you think that it is justifiable to violate somebody else's First Amendment rights while hiding behind the same First Amendment right. But it's a dangerous game to play. This isn't about the right. This isn't about the left. This is about maintaining a civil and free society. And our rights, such as the right to assembly, the right to protest, the right to free speech, and the right to practice whatever religion we choose, those rights will slowly be taken away if we play this game. There are plenty of churches I got a problem with. plenty of pastors that I got a problem with. I would love nothing more than to just run up in their church and start wilding in protest. If you've followed me long enough, you know what I'm talking about. But I could never bring myself to do that, because in this country, as flawed as this country is, and we could spend hours going through all of the problems in America. We really could. But we got a few things right. And those few things are the right to worship whatever religion we choose, and the right to protest and free speech. I don't know if you've noticed, but in Iran, the government is murdering its own civilians simply because they're protesting the regime. In Venezuela, Maduro ran people over with tanks simply for protesting. We need to live in a society where protesting doesn't become illegal because protesters want to violate other people's rights while protesting. And if Trump really is the dictator that a lot of people believe he is, then don't give him an open door to come up with a plan to shut down protesting because some of you want to justify violating other people's rights. Also, we're in 2026. We need to stop allowing our political parties and our news stations to tell us how we need to think about things. Be a free thinker. Think for yourself. Pull back from your echo chambers. Get out of them for a little bit. Get off social media. Get off YouTube. Get off the internet. Go stick your feet in some snow if you're out here in New York, and enjoy some time with your friends and your family. Turn off the noise for a little bit. All right, I've talked for way too long in the Planet Fitness parking lot. I'll see you guys soon enough.